Tucker's Cottage by Sue Dontel. Cloaked in the gray of undyed wool, the cloudy skies loomed a lonesome, eerie ambience. The wind howled akin to the cry of a lone wolf lost in the wilderness. Christopher, a middle-aged man, clothed in a tweed elbow-patch jacket and adorned with a button-down shirt, rumpled cargo pants, a fedora, a trench coat, and gloves, dodged knife-stabbing raindrops while heading down the desolate, wind-blown street. Entering a run-down antique store, bursting at the seams with items of yesteryear, Christopher tipped his fedora at Tucker, the proprietor, while shaking off the wetness. The alluring tobacco aroma from Tucker's pipe saturated the store with hospitable warmth. His yellow teeth peeked out from under his handlebar mustache. He bent his head down, looking over his spectacles, and removed his pipe to signal Christopher a hello. "Morning, Chris. Father knows best." "And a delightful day to you, sir," Christopher responded, although he never did understand the salutation from Tucker. He assumed it must be some sort of welcome used by people of this area. He scurried to an inconspicuous wooden door at the back of the room and reached for its leaded glass knob, which he wiggled back and forth until it finally released. Ducking his head underneath the timbers, he began his descent down rickety steps to a dark, dingy basement filled with a familiar sense of old books intermingled with the earthy odor of dust. Careful to avoid the last loose step, he grasped the wobbly handrail and bounded over it. He paused and closed his eyes, savoring the moment. Like a fox sizing up his prey, he moved stealthily toward an overflowing bin. One of the dozens upon dozens of books therein looked particularly fascinating, due to its unique design of stars and stripes. He hastily removed his fedora, gloves, and trench coat, all the while his eyes fixated on the alluring manuscript. He gingerly fingered the cover. The title, One Nation, was in raised white letters. At the top was a red banner on which the word Life also appeared in white lettering, and beneath the title appeared the words, America Remembers September the 11th, 2001. He remembered hearing whispers about something that supposedly occurred on that date. He thought it had just been a fabricated myth like the Holocaust rumors from centuries past, of which he had only heard about in secluded whispers. He didn't even take time to sit as he began scanning the book. His heart began beating wildly from an array of emotions. With his blood pressure rising, he quickly pulled a handkerchief from his pants pocket, dried his clammy hands, and patted his forehead. He could hardly believe his eyes when he realized there were thousands of little faces embedded in the stars and stripes of the dust cover. Tentatively, he thumbed through the pages, pondering what he would learn about September the 11th, 2001. Why would a book of such caliber even be published if it were only a myth? Graphic and frightening, the colorful photos exploded into his consciousness. They appeared to be taken from an authentic event. There were horrifying pictures of buildings exploding into fireballs billowing in the air, along with a description of planes flying into the structures. Also, there were fear-filled faces of people running for their lives, saturated in a dusky residue. A desperate man jumping out of a towering window, others apparently deceased being carried by rescuers. There were photos of heroes who worked to save lives, and images of many flags similar to the cover. Christopher shivered as a cold chill coursed throughout his body. Again, sweat overtook his brow and hands. He began to tremble as once more he wiped the moisture from his skin. Filled with compassion at the prospect of so many petrified people dying, he looked up from the book and peered afar in deep contemplation. He was confused and saddened as he wondered how something so horrendous could take place. All books had the ability to cause Christopher to look beyond information that had been indoctrinated into his mindset. He much preferred to gather facts from various sources in an attempt to make informed decisions about events. Words were more than a hobby for him. They were his passion, which would take him on a journey of discovery and enlightenment. But this book, he sensed, was something more than a recounting of a rumor or fable. Suddenly, he realized that it could possibly be a gold mine of the past. Christopher cradled the book to his bosom as he headed to his favorite reading chair.